Some people are still figuring out about drafting a cornerback in round 1. Or at least top 10 pick. I'm not sure if they're just round 1, but why? They've been knocking them out the park.
Why? It is crazy when you look at the first round cornerbacks that have been drafted over the past 6-7 years.
Yeah.
You look at these guys.
Since 2017.
Since 2017.
We got a little graphic for it too.
We'll start in 2017. You got Marshawn Lattimore and Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey is a dog for the Baltimore Ravens, one of the most slept-on players in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, you got Jair Alexander and Denzel Ward, 2 Pro Bowl caliber cornerbacks.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, you got Jeff Okudah, and you've also got C.J. Henderson and A.J. Terrell.
Yeah.
2 Pro Bowl level cornerbacks. And then you look at 2021, and you got J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain, 2 of the best cornerbacks in the league. And then, of course, in 2022, you got Derek Stingley Jr. and Sauce Gardner. These guys are straight dogs. These guys are all dogs. And right now in the NFL, that is one of the most desired positions to have because of how good all of these wide receivers. We talked about how hard it was to list your top 10 wide receivers because every team in the NFL has an elite receiver, at least one of them. So you need some of these guys out there. You need some of the best talent out there, and they're going to start going fast. And in this draft alone, there are 4, maybe 5 cornerbacks that are going to go in the first round.
Mm.
And the Lions need to take one. Whether it be Witherspoon, whether it be Gonzalez, whether it be Porter Jr., the Lions need to grab one of those guys.
I'm with you. I'm like, just give me a playmaker in that backfield. Because if you build this defensive line the way you think it is, and shout out to Detroit Dabber in the Woodward Sports Chat, my guy Evan, he goes, this year we had Squirtle version of Aiden Hutchinson. Next year, War Turtle version of Aiden Hutchinson, and then he goes to Blastoise from then on. So I hope he's accurate in that depiction. I thought that was hilarious, but it's very true though. If you're going to build up this defensive line, right? You have Josh Pascal who's going to have a full off season to train with now, alongside the chemistry with Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of those guys. I'm assuming they're bringing John Kaminsky back. I mean, this defensive line, as crazy as it sounds, and we still think we need a defensive tackle, it's still going to be a strength of this team. If you have something like that, which pairs perfectly with it, and you should know as Detroit Lions fans especially, is playmakers in your secondary.
Yes.
And that's why, and again, you have the proof is in the pudding. Since 2017, the guy's taken this first round.
Studs. All of them studs.
You could point to Jeff Okudah and you call him a bust. Maybe he's a bust as a number 3 pick, sure. But is he still a starting caliber cornerback? Yes.
He is a first-round talent by far.
You know what I'm saying? He's still that at the very least. But you had the example of this back in 2013, 2014 with the Ndamukong Suh, Cliff Averill, Ziggy Ansah, Jason Jones, whoever the hell, making pressure on the quarterback into throwing the ball.
Yes.
Darius Slay back there to make a play on it. Glover Quinn was back there to make a play on it. Like, it's just, that's what the Eagles do right now. Look at their defensive front, and then you go to that secondary. It's just a perfect pairing.
It is the perfect pairing.
But the key to it is stopping the run. But I think Detroit Lions showed you they can do that this year.
Yeah, they showed it. You know, take out that Carolina game. They showed in the second half of the season.
Yeah, second half of the season.
That they're pretty damn good at stopping the run when they want to. They showed they can shut down a Saquon Barkley. They showed they can shut down a Dalvin Cook. They showed they can shut down an Aaron Jones twice. Like, these guys, they're primed. They're ready. The pass rush is only going to get better. Like we said, we expect them to either add in the draft or through free agency a very good piece on that defensive line. And you need some playmakers back there. You need some of this high-caliber talent.
Yeah.
And these guys, dude, I'm in love with Christian Gonzalez. Like, I'm going to follow him wherever he goes, but I really hope it's the Detroit Lions. Yeah. I'll be watching you.
JB, do you have any reservations to the cornerback market at number 6 pick, I should say, in particular?
No, actually, I don't mind the Christian Gonzalez pick as well, too. I think if you draft him and pair him up with Jeff Okudah, that's a nice young core you got right there at corners. I mean, he's got size, he's got the length. I mean, ball hawk pretty much. But a lot of mock drafts I've been following, they've been saying, hey, Christian Gonzalez is the guy that the Lions would take at 6. Although, easy, you're probably not going to like who they take at 18, but...
Who?
Why?
Bijan Robinson at 18.
I'm going to love that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wouldn't be in the draft in offense. I thought you wanted to go defense.
No. I'm just saying that's what people, because why waste Goff's prime? He's the number 1 guy in the league. No, I'm just saying people with that philosophy. I think you go offense in this draft just as much. The one position I think I'd be pissed if they went with the top 4 is, it depends what they do with Evan Brown, but it's probably guard.
Yeah, no. Not a chance. You know you don't draft an offensive lineman in the sport.
Yeah,
You can get a good offensive guard in the later rounds.
Especially, too, like, look at the line this year. Jared Goff was the least sacked quarterback in the entire football league.
Yes, and
that guard position was constantly rotating. Like, I don't need to burn a top 4 pick on that.
Yeah, and as good as those offensive guard looks in college, the late guys that you'll get, how much better do you think they're going to look when you put them between Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell? Like, I think they're going to look a little bit better when you have 2 Pro Bowlers on both sides of you.
Brother, they made Dan Skipper look good.
Yeah.
And he never even made it onto an NFL team before this year. And he played the tackle position before. Like, I'm not burning one of those picks on a guard. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense. You had the proof in the pudding this year, literally.
They should definitely draft a guard.
That's the only thing I'd be pissed off about.
They should definitely draft a guard, for sure.
I'm open to everything else.
Take a guard in the 5th round. You can get a starting guard in the 5th round.
I guess I just wanted to hear the argument to, like, not taking a corner.
I don't think there is one. I think corner and defensive tackle are the 2 glaring needs on this team.
Neil came around to it, right? Eventually?
Yes.
I know he was saying no before. Do you know why he was saying no initially, or just because
he doesn't like the value?
It's not even a thing.
Yeah.
These guys are still on discounted deals. If you look at, like, the open market versus, like, it's a rookie deal.
Yeah.
You know? I guess here'd be the one argument, and we've had this one before. And actually, I kind of had this one with my guy Scott Bischoff. Shout out to Scott. It wasn't an argument. It was just conversation. But the fact that there are so many, and you and I have thought this conversation too, is that, yeah, maybe you could wait because there's a plethora of them. You know, the class is so big. Because
I want the best of the best. I want the guy that Brad Holmes is like, this is the best cornerback in the draft.
Yeah.
But you draft him right away.
Right. All right, here's this, though. Christian Gonzalez, Devon Witherspoon, Joey Porter. That's a tough. I mean, you have your pick of the litter with those guys.
I'm taking Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I just like it's for me, it'd be between him and Witherspoon.
And Porter doesn't turn you on at all?
No, he does, but not ahead of those 2.
Because, like, he's got the arm length that we've never seen in a quarterback.
Yeah, I like Porter.
He's got the bloodline, which is we've seen J.C. Horn, Surtain, all those guys. He may move. I don't know if he's gonna move up to 6 for sure, but I'm just saying I think he's still gonna be elite talent. Asante Samuel's a 2nd round guy.
I like Porter. Don't get me wrong. And I like Emmanuel Forbes as well, but
yeah,
I think it's Christian Gonzalez and Devontae Witherspoon.
I'm just presenting the argument. Like I said, I'm all in.
No, I was on Porter a long time. I've been on Porter this whole time.
Yeah, I think you're the one that turned me on to Porter.
And then I looked at Christian Gonzalez tape. I was like, Jesus. Yeah. This kid's a stud. After we have Russell Brown on.
But I'm honestly open to, a lot of a lot of positions in this draft. I was trying to think of a way to make that not sound like clippable. But I'm open to a lot of it. I mean, Lucas in the back was even talking about, this is the most craziest one I've heard so far, by the way. I'm not surprised with these takes from Lucas anymore. He has some wild ones out there, but he said Quentin Johnson at 6.
Yeah, he liked him a lot.
Yeah, but
it's too high.
Too high. I've seen stuff with him falling to, like, the 2nd round.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
But I'm not opposed to it. Not at 6, but I wouldn't be. I guess at this point with Brad, especially,
they're gonna need somebody.
Exactly. And I don't necessarily know if you point to it as a need, because I think J-Mo's going to do his thing either way. But the situation you saw J-Mo do his thing, DJ Chark was in the game as well. You know, Apollo in the Woodward Sports Chat says Gonzalez seems more conservative. Witherspoon seems more like a run-stop and aggressive guy. The way it was broken down to me, and we had our guy Russ Brown on the show before too. So if you guys want to, after the show, of course, and after you hit that like button, watch the clip from that one, or we watched the last Thursday episode. But Scott and I, when we were talking about it, he said Witherspoon's more of like the aggressive. He's what Okudah was supposed to be, essentially.
Yeah.
In a lockdown kid, where Gonzalez has got that size to, like, necessarily probably just possibly like shut down like a half, side of the field. Witherspoon's more of a playmaker.
Yes.
If that makes sense. That made more sense. Let's just say that way.
I like more of the shutdown factor, and you look at it with what we've talked about, looking in the NFC North alone. You got a Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Big, tall, fast guy.
Yep.
You got a Justin Jefferson. Big, tall, fast receiver.
Chase Claypool.
You got to think Chase. Yeah, but you got to think they're going to get somebody good. You got to think the Bears are going to go after a receiver and make it somebody who counts. So
yeah,
you're going to need a big, tall receiver or a big, tall cornerback who's fast and can play the ball. So that is a guy. You watch Christian Gonzalez's tape. He's very good at doing just that.
Trey Adams, Woodward Sports Chat. Don't forget about Cam Smith.
Cam Smith is also a baller.
That's the one argument for not taking a guy 6.
Shout out Gamecocks. Go Cox.
You just love screaming that out, don't you?
I wanted to buy one of those hats.
Had 5 guys this weekend.
You see one of those
Go
hats?
Cox.
You see those hats? It says Cox.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's yeah.
WoodwardSports.com merch. Check it out. I'm just kidding.